Hello everyone and welcome to my lesson today. So before we start our lesson, I have some sentence for you. So all of you look at the screen. You look at carefully and then decide whether statements are in passive voice or in active voice. So we have 1 minute to look at and do the task. Okay, so have you got the answers? Now look at the screen. They first published this dictionary in 1870, so it is passive voice or active voice? Yeah, right, it is active voice. And how about number 2? Each term is separated by a 1-week break. The second is, passive voice. Number 3, they built this school in 1997. Passive or active? Okay, of course, active voice. Very easy, right? And the last one is the state school system is patched for by the state. Yeah, passive voice. So how can you know this is passive voice or active voice? Now we move to Unit 4, School Education System, and continue with Lesson 5, Language Focus. We also focus on passive voice. Now I have an activity for you. How to change the active into the passive voice. Now all of you look at the screen. We have active voice. The structure is SVO, subject, verb, and objects. So how can you change the active into the passive voice? The first one, objects, will become subject in passive, right? Be, verb, will become be plus PP. PP is mean past participle, right? And subjects will become object. And before objects, we use must you by, right? So this is the structure of the passive voice. As you learn the last periods, right? For example, I have a sentence like this. I clean the living room every day. So I is the subject, right? And clean is verb. The living room is an object, and every day is an adverb of time, right? And now we will do it. Now, the living room will become the subject, right? The living room, and this clean is in the simple present. So clean is cleaned, right? And I will become object me, and before it you use by, right? Every day is the adjective, adverb of time. So the whole sentence is the living room is cleaned by me every day. So all of you understand this? Okay, now we move to the activity 3. I have a table you can look at on the screen. And all of you will look at and match the active tenses in column A with passive tenses in column B. Now, 1 minute for you to do this task. Okay, so now let's check. Present simple. Number 1 with letter E. How about number 2? 2A, right? 3 plus D, 4 B, right? And 5 F, and 6 C, and the last one, future simple, is G. Okay, all of you can copy this in your notebook. Okay, now we move to the structure. So all of you can look at and give me the common structure of the passive voice. Okay, that is B plus PP. PP past participle, right? So if the sentence is in passive, you must, in the sentence, we have be, right? The verb be and past participle. Okay, next. So like the example I give you before, our classroom is cleaner every day. So in this sentence, is, be, cleaner is by participle. So this sentence is in passive, not in the active voice, right? Now we move to activity 4. So to make sure about passive voice, or you will do some tasks I give you followed. Now activity number 4. I have 3 questions. You can look at the screen. Number 1, circle the word or the phrase that must be changed. And number 2, choose the best option to complete this sentence. And number 3, choose the sentence which has the same meaning to the root one. So these are 3 questions you often see in the midterm test or in the semester exam. So 2 minutes for you to do this. Now let's begin. Okay, so have you got the answers? Now we move to the question number 1. So was this room repainted by he? So by, after by, we must use an object or a subject, a cross object. So here is which words is incorrect or must be changed. Of course D, right? And he will become by him. So you pay attention to this. So in passive voice, if we see by plus he, him, her, they, them, sorry, them or us, we can omit it. Okay, you understand? And now we move to question number 2. My classroom. My classroom. Classroom. Does classroom do the action clean? Of course, no. So it must be done, right? So my classroom is cleaner. So we use passive voice here. And how about number 3? Shakespeare wrote this play in 1605. Shakespeare is the subject, wrote is the verb, and display is the object. So object will become the subject, and wrote you use past simple tense in passive. So words or word written, right? So display is the singular. So you must use words. And the answer is B, right? This play was written by Shakespeare in 1605. So all of you clear? Yes, now we move to activity 5. Fill in each blank with the simple present passive form of the verb in practice. I have 6 questions on the screen. So pay attention to this. This is simple present passive only. Okay, 5 minutes for you to do this. Okay, so all of you have the answers? Okay, now let's check. Number 1, the academic year in England in 3 terms. So the academic year is singular, right? So it will become is divided. Number 2, each term by a 1-week break. So each term is also singular, so you use am, is, or are. Of course, is, right? And the past participle of separate is separated. So number 2 is separated. And how about number 3? The national curriculum set. So it's also is set by the government, and merged is the modal verb. So the modal verb in passive, you can use the structure modal verb plus be plus pp, right? Pp is mean past participle. And in this sentence, by the government and must be followed in all state schools. Yeah, is that and must be followed. And how about number 4? Number 4, the national curriculum of more than 10 subjects. So like number 3, right, is made up. Yeah. And number 5, the state school system. The state school system is the singular, so you use is. And the past participle of pay is pat. And the answer is pat. And the last one, the advanced student. Advanced students. Students is plural, so am, is, or are, of course, art. And the participle of select is selected. So the advanced students are selected to take part in the annual international Olympic competition, right? So you can copy the answer in your notebook. Okay, we can move to activity number 6. So I have 5 sentences on the screen, and you will rewrite the 5 sentences here using the passive voice. You pay attention to and try to remember how to change the active voice into passive voice as we learned before. Okay, 5 minutes for you to do this task. Okay, now let's check. The first sentence, students in my class are going to organize a surprise party tomorrow evening. So the object here is a surprise party, right? A surprise party. And you look at this, is be going to plus bare infinitive. So when you use this in passive voice, you must use be going to plus be and plus past participle. So this question will become like this. Okay, surprise party is going to be organized by the student in my class tomorrow evening. So in the sentence, you also pay attention to this. By plus object will stand before the adverbs of time and stand after the adverb of place. Remember this. Now we move to number 2. They are painting the kitchen now. Will become the kitchen is being painted now, right? So like as I said to you before, they become them, right? And by plus them will be omitted, right? And how about number 3? Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet in 1605 will become like this. Romeo and Juliet was written by Shakespeare in 1605. And how about number 4? Number 4, they will speak English at the conference. Will become English will be spoken at the conference, right? And the last one, Jane hasn't cleaned the floor yet. It's also become the floor hasn't been cleaned by Jane yet. And you pay attention to the question number 5, by plus object will stand before yet. Yet is the adverb of time, right? Okay, so all of you clear now? Now, you can copy this in your notebook, please. Okay, now we move to activity 7. Activity number 7, fill in the space of the following passage with the correct tense in passive voice of the verbs in bracket. So remember, this exercise is we used all the tenses in passive voice, not only in the present simple present, like activity number 3, right? Now we have 10 blanks. Okay, 5 minutes for you to do this task. Read the passage carefully and try to do this. Okay, now we check the words first electronic computer. First electronic computer is singular, right? by the University of Pennsylvania in 1946. In 1946, it means in the past. So you use past, simple past tense in passive, right? So it's become, yeah, was built. How about number 2? However, computers commercially for the first time in the 1950s. So in the 1950s, it belonged to the past, right? And computer is plural. So yeah, word sold, sell, sold, right? And how about number 3? Much progress on computers make seems 1950s. So sin is the keywords of the tense. What tense? Present perfect, right? And much progress is plural or singular. It's of course singular. So you use has been made, not have been made, right? How about number 4? Computers are now much smaller and more powerful, and they can buy. They here is mentioned computers, and can is the modal verb. So as I said to you before, can is the modal verb, and the modal verb is in passive. It is, you can use modal plus be plus past participle. So number 4 will become, yeah, can be bought. And how about number 5? Computers used in many fields in business, science, medicine, education, or for example. So computers can do the action use. So you also use in the passive, and computer is plural. Now, are used. This is the reality. So you use most simple present in passive. And number 6, this is also mentioned computers, and this is the modal verb. So modal verb in passive, number 6, you can use like this, can be used, right? Very easy. We move to number 7. The computer's memory is the place where the information, so information is singular, and calculation is plural, right? So, and this is shows or express the reality. So you use the simple present tense in passive, right? So number 7, is stored. And how about number 8? Are done, right? And number 9, a computer cannot think for itself. It is mentioned a computer, right? And must is the modal verb, so must be told is the answer. Exactly what to do. And the last one, a lot of difficult calculation you use in plural, so can be done very quickly on computers. So that's all. Have you clear and have any question about passive voice? Okay, thank you for your attention. And remember at home you must review passive voice and do on the task in textbook, in your notebook. Thank you.